You want the papers? We've got the papers. Joining us this morning to review them, the former editor of the Daily Star, Dawn Neeson, and the writer and academic Mo Lovett. Ladies, always a pleasure to see the pair of you. I do hope you're well. Dawn, let's go straight to the first of your choices, the front of the Telegraph. The government apparently feeling the need to limit my speed.
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, and good morning, everybody, and happy Easter weekend.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's actually nice, Neil, to talk about something different for once. A very interesting story on the front of the Telegraph today. Speed limiters are set to be fitted in new cars. Now, this was an EU ruling that we are still going ahead with. Now, basically, it means something called an intelligent speed assistance, which is a combination of like a GPS and a camera system, will be fitted to new cars, which will limit speeds on our motorways and our roads. Evidently, an alarm system, quite similar to the seatbelt. You know, if you don't put your seatbelt in, you get that buzzing noise, and it goes on, doesn't it? Annoying. That will reduce the, so it's an alarm system, and this one's slightly more worrying now, or it's a mechanism that reduces the speed so you can put your foot on the pedal and nothing happens. Now, this is being done to help with pollution. This is the original EU idea, and obviously for road safety. And there are some motorways in this country, I think they're already 60 miles an hour because they're pollution black spots. The original idea from the EU, though, which was even more worrying, is this ISA system. But if you break the speed limit, your engine power cuts out completely. Now, I mean, there are times, we all know, when there is a dangerous incident, you do need to speed up to avoid a dangerous incident. And as a woman, if you're driving and you feel vulnerable in a situation, you do sometimes need to put your foot down. So, thankfully, the EU's original idea that we actually lose power in our engines completely has gone. But evidently, Citroën, Ford and Jaguar are already installing this in their new cars, and it does look like it will be coming. Highways England are a big supporter of it as well. So it does look like something that will be coming in. Now, obviously, it has been criticised as more Big Brother is watching, a cockpit in your car, a spy in your car type thing, monitored all the time. But if it improves road safety and pollution, it's probably a good thing.
Yeah, I just wonder whether or not, I thought Brexit meant we didn't have to follow European Union regulations anymore, Dawn. Yeah,
we don't, but evidently we are.
Mo, take us to the front of The Guardian, and really one of the stories of the week, and of course the accusation has been that the reason it's one of the stories of the week was the other story of the week, the fines that were issued in Downing Street, but the United Nations now wading in on the plan to send migrants to Rwanda.
Yeah, so this is a Guardian front page, and they've got an exclusive with Gillian Trigg, who is an Assistant High Commissioner at the UN's High Commission for Refugees, and she has criticised the government's plan to send asylum seekers, refugees to Rwanda on the basis that it just won't work. It will perhaps support about a couple of hundred people per year, and I think the evidence from that comes from the fact that Israel actually tried this plan as well. They had a deal with Rwanda, and when they went to check up on whether refugees and asylum seekers were settled in Rwanda, they could only find 9 of their original, what should we call them, deportees, I guess. So the suggestion is that this won't work. I have heard other commentators say that that's not really a bug in the plan, it's actually a feature of the plan. You sort of alluded there, Neil, to a dead cat strategy, perhaps a little bit cynical, but I suppose the thing is there has been pressure on the government to do something about the southern border. I think in 2021 there were 30,000 refugees and asylum seekers coming in via that route rather than the legal routes that are available, and that's up 10,000% from the 300 in 2018. So clearly there is an issue there. Whether this solution is workable, I mean, the idea that somebody comes all the way to Britain and then gets sent 4,500 miles to Rwanda does seem a bit of an obfuscation of responsibility. But I suppose the issue is being discussed, and perhaps this will help us to discuss what can be done, perhaps in a more humane way than the government's current plan.
Dawn, take us to the front of the Mirror and a story about everyone's favourite couple, Harry and Meghan. The headline here, will bring the kids soon. Oh, that's awfully big of them, isn't it?
Yeah, well, absolutely. This is obviously, you say, Neil, everyone's favourite couple. Harry and Meghan make their first appearance together in Europe 2 years, I think it is, since Megxit, isn't it? They are over in Holland at the moment for the Invictus Games, which is for, as we know, Harry's charity for disabled servicemen, injured servicemen, and that's very close to his heart, and that's what they're over there for. On the way over there, though, on Thursday, they stopped off in Windsor and popped in to see Charles and the Queen. Now, as we all know, the Queen is quite frail at the moment. She hasn't met little Lilibet, Harry's daughter, yet. So it was lovely. It was meant to be an olive branch, and I think, you know, it was a brilliant thing for the Queen to see Harry and Meghan. I mean, Harry was her favourite grandson at one point. Whether he still is another matter. And evidently Charles was very pleased. And the Queen has always said that Harry will always be a much-loved part of the family. So it's lovely that they popped in to see the Queen. And obviously the Invictus Games are a great thing. The little bit of cynical part of me, though, Neil, can't help wondering, now they are doing all this, obviously, and it's wonderful and it's brilliant. However, they do have a Netflix film crew following them around. Now, I'm sure they didn't go to Windsor with the film crew, but
I'm not so sure.
It might be part of the entry.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm not so sure. There's an awful lot of cynicism around on this programme, perhaps because it's 6 o'clock on a Saturday morning. Mo, we've got a minute left, but I do want to have a kind of a fairly positive story, actually, on the front of the Express. A bit of a boost to the economy.
Yeah, this is exciting, isn't it? Economists are predicting that there'll be a $2 billion boom time Easter boost for the economy, and that's predominantly even though we are at our first sort of COVID restriction-free Easter, more and more people have chosen to stay in the UK. So there's this predicted boost for the economy of $2 billion, which, in amongst war and cost of living crisis, as you say, is a bright story for an Easter weekend.
Are you managing to make it out of town yourselves?
Do you know what? I had some meetings in London last week, and everybody said they were self-isolating because they didn't want to catch COVID, and I've come home with COVID. So,
oh, sorry, I really shouldn't laugh. Dawn, what about yourself?
I'm working with your lovely selves this morning, and I'm pretty much working all over the holiday, so I don't mind. But London is very, very quiet. The roads are very quiet at the moment in London, so it does seem that people are either, as Mo said, staying at home, or they have escaped to go somewhere lovely on holiday. Now we're allowed to do so.
It's almost as if London is tolerable when everyone who lives here finally leaves for a bit. Guys, we will see you again next hour for more of the same. For now, thanks very much indeed. But you can stay right where you are. After the break, of course, we will be discussing once again the latest from inside Ukraine. Sky News has met the families of 2 Ukrainian best friends who were tortured and killed by Russian troops whilst defending their country. Our Defence and Security Editor Deborah Haynes has been speaking to their mothers.